नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। भगवद्गीता अध्याय 2 श्लोक 28 अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना। Bhagavan is making his effort to get Arjuna out of his shoka. He spoke from the standpoint of the Paramarthika, from the standpoint of the absolute reality. Everyone is the same Atma which is free from all modifications. Therefore, there is no room for grief. This was put forward till 25, from 11 to 25. Krishna presented the Paramarthika view, Paramarthika vision. And in 26 and 27, he took a different stance, Abhyupetyavada or Abhyupagamavada, from the standpoint of Jivatma. Also, there is no need for shoka. Shoka cannot be justified because birth and death, repeated birth and death, are inevitable as far as a Jivatma is concerned. Now, one more standpoint, from the standpoint of the body, Karyakarana Sanghata, meaning Sthula Sharira as well as Sukshma Sharira, the Upadhi. With reference to Karyakarana Sanghata, can the grief be justified? After listening to Bhagavan, Arjuna might ask a question. Atma is eternal. Atma does not have death. That is fine. But what about Karyakarana Sanghata? There is Bhishma Sharira, the body of Bhishma, Drona Sharira, the body of Drona. What about them? They will perish in the war. And I have love for Bhishma Sharira, the body of Bhishma. And I have attachment towards Drona Sharira, the body of Drona. They will perish, even if the Atma is imperishable. Then once they are gone, they will not return. Once again, we cannot manufacture another Bhishma Sharira. Once again, we cannot manufacture another Drona Sharira. The dead person cannot be brought back. These are the languages of a lamenting person. Will he come back once he is gone? So this might be Arjuna's question. Then Krishna comes to the standpoint of the body, Karyakarana Sanghata. And Bhagavan says, all Karyakarana Sanghatas for Karyakarana Sanghata, Bhagavan uses the word Bhuta. Bhutani means Karyakarana Sanghataha. Even from the standpoint of Karyakarana Sanghata, Shoka is not reasonable, because every Karyakarana Sanghata was non-existent, was unmanifest at some point of time. And then it comes into manifestation, appears at some point of time. After a while, the Karyakarana Sanghata goes back into the unmanifest, into the invisible, appears and disappears. It does not appear always. Before its birth, it was not visible, not perceivable. And after the birth, it becomes available to our perception. And after death, it is no more available to our perception. Appears and disappears. And anything that appears and disappears comes into appearance and then disappears after a while is mithya, unreal. Therefore, karyakarana sanghata is unreal, mithya. And for a mithya object, getting attached to a mithya object and grieving for a mithya object is not reasonable. Just like one does not grieve for the death of a dream son. In my dream, I got a son and he died. After waking up, do you continue crying? It is mithya, unreal. Because it just appears in dream. Before the dream began, it was not there. And after the dream has come to an end, it is not there. Appeared for a while and then disappeared. Therefore, it is mithya. We all know. Likewise, this body also appears and disappears. Therefore, even this body deserves to be mithya. Therefore, do not get attached to the bhutani, the karyakarana sanghata, Bhishma Sharira, Drona Sharira, etc. Because the Sharira is unreal. See, Bhutani Avyaktadini. He Bharata, Bhagavan is addressing Arjuna. He Bharata, O descendant of Bharata. Bha means knowledge, light. Bha means effulgence, light. And Rata means reveling. Bharata means reveling in light, reveling in knowledge. This land is called Bharata because this is a land of Atmajnana, land of knowledge. The Vedas and the tradition of the Veda, which gave the eternal wisdom, reveled in this land, flourished in this land. Therefore, this land, this geographical mass, is called Bharata. It is the original name of this land. So, Bhagavan addresses Arjuna as Bharata because he deserves to revel in knowledge. Hey Bharata, don't speak like an Ajnani. You are the descendant of Bharata and you are Bharata. You should revel in knowledge. Avyaktadini bhutani. Bhutani means karyakarana sanghata. The upadhis, the bodies, avyaktadini, they were unmanifest in the beginning. They come from avyakta. They come from the unmanifest. They emerge from the invisible. Vyakta madhyani, in the middle, in between, for a duration of time, they are vyakta. They are manifest. They are visible. They become available to perception. Avyakta nidhananyeva, and they are avyakta nidhanani. After death, they go back to avyakta. They go back to the invisible. Return to the invisible. Therefore, one cannot attribute reality to the bodies. Therefore, tatra ka paridevana, where is the room for lamentation in regard to the bodies? Karyakarana sanghatatmakani api bhutani uddeshya shoko na yuktaha kartum yataha. Bhashyakara gives connection to this shloka. Karyakarana sanghatatmakani bhutani api uddeshya. Uddeshya, in relation to, in reference to. Karyakarana sanghatani bhutani. Bhutani, bhutas. What are the bhutas? Karyakarana sanghatani. The sanghata, assemblage of karya and karana. Karya means sthula sharira. Karana means all the components of Sukshma Sharira. Karyakarananam Sanghataha. All the upadhis are Karyakarana Sanghata. Bhutani Uddishya Shokona Yuktaha. Shokaha, sorrow, na yuktaha is not reasonable, not proper to have, because shokaha kartum na yuktaha. One cannot justify shoka. Shokaha kartum, to do shoka, means to lament, to grieve for. Na yuktaha is not reasonable. Yataha, because. The reason is given by this shloka. Avyaktadini avyaktam adarshanam anupalabdhihi adihi yesham bhutanam putramitradi karyakarana sanghatatmakanam tani अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि प्रागुत्पत्तेः अव्यक्तादीनि अव्यक्तम् आदिः येषां तानि अव्यक्तादीनि बहुव्रीहि समास अव्यक्तम is equal to adarshanam. Invisibility. So, adarshanam, if just adarshanam is said, people might think it is not available to visual perception alone. That is why Bhashyakara uses another word. Anupalabdhi means non-availability to all perceptions, not just visual. Not available to any senses. They are not available at all. Not perceived at all. Adihi. So, it is their adi, their beginning. In the beginning, they are not perceived at all. Yesham bhutanam, of which bhutas. And what is bhuta? Putramitradi karyakarana sanghatatmakanam. Bhutas are karyakarana sanghatas. Like putra, mitra, etc. Son, friend, etc. Tani avyaktadini. They are called avyaktadini. Avyaktam adihi yesham tani avyaktadini. So while explaining the Vigrahavakya, while giving the Vigrahavakya, he also explained the word bhutani. Pragutpattehe, before utpatti, they were avyakta. So Avyaktadini means Pragutpattehe Avyaktani ityartha. Before Utpatti, they are Avyakta. They are unmanifest. Utpannani cha Prangmaranat Vyaktamadhyani Utpannani cha. Once they are Utpanna, once they are born, Vyaktamadhyani, they are manifest in the middle. Vyaktam, Madhyam, Yesham, Tani, Vyaktamadhyani. Prangmaranat Vyaktani ityartha. So Vyaktamadhyani means Prangmaranat, before death, they are Vyaktani, they are manifest. Avyaktanidhananyeva Punaha Avyaktam Adarshanam Nidhanam Maranam Yesham Tani Avyaktanidhanani Maranadurdhvam api Avyaktatameva Pratipadyante ityarthaha. Avyakta nidhanani means avyaktam nidhanam yesham tani avyakta nidhanani. Their nidhana is avyakta. Death is avyakta. Means after death they become unmanifest. So punaha, again they go back to avyakta. Avyaktam is equal to adarshanam, invisibility. It is nidhanam. Nidhanam means maranam. Yesham tani avyakta nidhanani means maranat urdhvam api, even after death. Avyaktatameva pratipadyante, they get into avyaktata, they get into invisibility. Ityarthaha, this is the meaning of avyakta nidhanani. Tatha cha uktam adarshanaadapatitaha punaschadarshanam gataha nasau tavanatasya tvam vrthaka paridevana iti. So the same idea is stated elsewhere in Mahabharata also. Tatha cha uktam, the same thing has been told. Adarshanaad apatitaha. This is a quote from Mahabharata. Adarshanaad apatitaha. The body has come from adarshana, invisibility. And and punascha adarshanam gataha, and it goes back to adarshanam. Every body goes back to adarshanam. Therefore, nasau tava, neither the body belongs to you. Asau, asau means karyakarana sanghataha. This body does not belong to you. Neither your body nor anybody else's body belongs to you. Na tasyatvam, nor do you belong to them. Tvam tasya na. So mutual relation is negated. Neither you are related to them, nor they are related to you. No relation whatsoever. It just comes and goes. Our own body as well as others' body comes and goes. Therefore, the body is mithya and you are satya. The satya and mithya cannot have a real connection. What is the relation between a real and an unreal? Is it real or unreal? The sambandha between Devadatta and his dream son. How the dream son is related to Devadatta. Is he really related, or is he just related in dream? The relation also is a dream relation, not a real relation. Likewise, the relation with the mithya is also unreal. And that is intended. Nasau tasya na tasyatvam. Neither it is related to you, nor you are related to it. Vritha ka paridevana. Ka paridevana. What is the use of lamentation? No use of lamentation. No use of crying for the body. It is vritha. Paridevana vritha. Vritha means futile, in vain. Tatra ka paridevana, ko va pralapaha, adrishta, drishta, pranashta, bhranti bhuteshu, bhuteshu ityarthaha. So, it was a quotation from Mahabharata. Then Bhashyakara proceeds to explain the fourth pada of this shloka. Shloka 28. Tatra ka paridevana. Tatra. Tatra means tani bhutani uddishya. Regarding the bhutas. With respect to the karyakarana sanghata, ka paridevana, is equal to kova pralapaha. What is the use of pralapa? What is the use of crying, lamenting? Because all the bhutas are adrishta, drishta, pranashta. They are adrishta, initially adrishta, before their origin. Then they become drishta. They are visible. They are seen for a while. And then they are once again pranashta. They disappear. And therefore, they are bhranti. Bhranti bhuteshu bhuteshu. All the bhutas are bhranti bhutani. They are mithya. Bhranti bhutani means mithya. They are not real. Ityarthaha. So this is the implied meaning of this shloka. So adrishta, drishta, pranashta, bhranti bhuteshu bhuteshu paridevana vritha. The paridevana, lamentation, is vritha, useless, meaningless. It cannot be justified. Ityarthaha. Now, Bhagavan takes a slight deviation from the topic. So far, he has been telling Arjuna that his shoka does not find any valid reason. And now, he is talking about the rareness of Atmajnana, durlabhatva of Atmajnana. As the main topic of Bhagavad Gita is Atmajnana, because that is the only ultimate solution for the problem of samsara. Everything else is a first aid. Like earlier Bhagavan discussed, from the standpoint of Jivatma, athachainam nityajatam, it is only like a first aid. It is not the permanent solution. The true solution is Atmajnana. Other things are patchwork. Even if you go to a therapist, it is a patchwork. Psychotherapy does not have a permanent solution to our problems. If the problems cross a threshold, the psychotherapist can bring it down for a while. But it is not a solution. Any time it can cross the same threshold once again. He does not give guarantee, because the psychological vulnerability persists even after any amount of psychotherapy, any amount of treatment, any amount of counseling, the psychological vulnerability does not go, because the root of the problem is still there. It has not been removed. What is the root of the problem? Ajnana. Therefore, to be free from psychological vulnerability for good, there is only one way: Atmajnana. Therefore, though incidentally he discussed certain other things, certain other approaches, the keynote of Bhagavan's discussion, Bhagavan's teaching, is the Atma Tattva. Therefore, once again he comes to Atmajnana and he says, this jnana is durlabha. The Atmajnana is durlabha. Shankaracharya gives a beautiful connection. Even after telling Arjuna about the Atma Tattva, Arjuna is not able to understand. He is not able to relate to the Atma Tattva. And perhaps Arjuna feels bad that he is not able to understand Bhagavan's teaching. I am not able to understand what you are saying. Atma is Nityaha, and so on. Perhaps that is why Bhagavan took some other approach in the past 3 shlokas. He gave up the Atma Tattva for a while. And then Bhagavan is consoling Arjuna. Don't worry, because you are not able to understand the Atma yet. Don't feel bad, because it is not just your problem. The inability to understand the Atma is not just your problem. Therefore, I cannot blame you. It is the very nature of Atma Tattva that many people in the world are not able to understand. If someone is able to understand, it is a wonder. Not understanding is not a wonder. If someone is able to understand, it is a wonder. It is not a surprise that many people fail. It is a wonder that a few people succeed. See the connection. Durvijñeyoyam prakritaha atma किं त्वामेव एकम् उपालभे साधारणे भ्रान्तिनिमित्ते कथं दुर्विज्ञेयोऽयमात्मा इत्यत आह। दुर्विज्ञेयः अयं प्राक् प्रकृतः आत्मा। अयम आत्मा, this atma which is prakritaha, which is under discussion right from shloka 11. Ayam atma durvijneyaha, this atma is durvijneyaha, difficult to understand, difficult to fathom. Therefore, किम त्वामेव एकम उपालभे साधारणे भ्रांति निमित्ते। भ्रांति निमित्त is साधारण। भ्रांति निमित्त means the cause of error, the cause of misconception. Which is nothing but ajnana. Ajnana leads to bhranti. Therefore, ajnana is bhranti nimitta. Because of ajnana, we take the unreal for real. We take the anatma for atma. It is bhranti. And bhranti nimitta, ajnana, is universal. Everyone has ajnana. It is sadharan. It is common for all. Just one person is born with ajnana. It doesn't happen. Only I am ajnani. It doesn't happen so. Everyone is born with ajnana. And the ajnana is strong enough to hold us in samsara. The ajnana is strong enough to prevent the atmajnana from happening easily. If removal of ajnana is that easy, then we don't need 3 years, 4 years and all. Just that 10-day camp is enough. So, bhranti nimitta is sadharana. Therefore, it is not easy to understand the Atma for everyone, almost everyone in the world. Therefore, only Arjuna cannot be blamed for not being able to understand the Atma. Therefore, Bhagavan tells Arjuna, Shankaracharya puts these words into Bhagavan's mouth. Kim tvameva ekam upalabhe. Why I should blame only you? Kim? Why? Kimartham? Tvameva ekam. You alone upalabhe. I can blame. So I cannot blame you because it is not your fault. And it is not just your problem also. It is not your fault because the ajnana is very strong. The ajnana does not allow you to understand the Atma easily. And it is not just your problem Therefore, you need not feel bad. Only I am not able to understand. Others are able to understand. You need not feel bad. See, when there is a problem with the electricity, what happens? We look at neighbors. Whether the electricity has gone only in my room or there are problems in the neighbors' rooms also. If the same problem is there everywhere, I get some solace. Oh, then everyone has problem. Likewise, Arjuna need not feel bad because everyone has the same problem. In a way, it is consoling Arjuna. Don't feel bad as far as Arjuna is concerned. That is how Bhashyakara is connecting. But for us, the shloka gives a different sense altogether. The Atma Jnana is Durlabha. And the opportunity to find the Atma Jnana is Durlabha. Proper opportunity to pursue the Atma Jnana is not easy to find. First of all, Manushyatvam, a human birth, is not easy to get. Then Mumukshatvam, the idea that I should get moksha, is not easy to find. Even if someone is born a human being. And Mahapurusha Samshayaha, the opportunity to do Shravana properly, Vedanta Shravana, it is even more difficult. Therefore, one should not give up the opportunity when it is in hand. So, Katham Durvijneyaha Ayam Atma. How the Atma is Durvijneyaha. In what manner the Atma is Durvijneyaha. Ityata aha. So this is being explained by Krishna himself. Ascharyavat pashyati kashchidenam. Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chānyaha. Ascharyavat-chainamanyah shrunoti. Shrutvāpyenam veda na chaiva kaśchit. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.